Happy Valentine's Day, YouTube. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel pressured to spend money to impress your Valentine and spend more and more every year to outperform what you did last year? Well, today I have my friends joining us, Raphael and Nixie, founders of Nixie's Coffee, and they've actually found a very interesting way of spending Valentine's Day, keeping the romance strong, but at virtually a very low cost or even a virtually no cost. Check this out.
Are you ready for my card?
I'm ready for yours.
Surprise! My amazing husband. Life is so sweet when you marry the right person. And you are so right for me. You're the reason my heart believes in forever. I love you.
Oh, wow.
Happy Valentine's Day. But let's scratch the Valentine's Day part.
That's a beautiful card.
Isn't it?
It's beautiful. And you know what mine is, right?
The perfect card.
For my beautiful wife. Strong, bold, and hot.
That's supposed to be him, but that's really me. Sweet,
Sweet,
complex, and extra hot.
That's me. Complex. Together we're the perfect blend. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. I love you a latte.
This is the best.
Look at that. Love you a latte.
I know.
That's funny.
This is the best part.
We're gonna have to buy
So
this.
normally, yeah, we don't buy them, but because we're in the coffee industry, we're gonna have to just buy this card.
It's an investment.
Yeah, it's an investment.
Actually, that's what we're gonna use our business card.
Oh yeah.
It's an
Oh
investment
my
for our,
goodness.
because we're gonna put it on Instagram tomorrow.
Yeah, so we normally don't buy each other things for Valentine's, for maybe the exception of some cards with no gift cards in it. But this year we were not even going to do that. We're going to come to the pharmacy, pick out an awesome card and read it to each other and then just put it back.
That was
And
the plan.
yeah, but this is just too cool, and we're gonna, like he said, it's an investment.
I got the perfect card. Perfect.
So that was great. What you guys did. I was at a Rite Aid, just a couple of blocks away from here, right? And so who came up with that idea? That was really awesome, watching you guys do that.
We can't take credit for that one.
Oh, no?
No,
Nope.
not for that one. We were talking to a friend of ours and we were telling them about our whole Valentine non-spending deal. And she said that she had a pair of friends who did something similar and that they actually went to a pharmacy, read each other the cards at the pharmacy.
And put it back.
And then just put it back. And we're like, we're upgrading to that one this year. We love the idea, actually.
Yeah.
And and so that's where we attempted to do that this year, although we kind of halfway did it because that card was just too cool not to buy.
Right.
But
So
Yeah.
I think we can safely say that that's a really cool Valentine's Day spending hack, right? And it's a great way to actually spend quality time together too, right? It's like multiple birds with
Yeah.
one stone. And you actually did end up purchasing the card, even though you started off the endeavor, and started off the day planning to definitely not buy the card. But you did end up purchasing the card, and explain to us why.
well, because we consider that an investment. Why? Because it's a coffee related card, because we run a coffee business.
Right.
And so basically that the concept of it being an investment went into play, and that's why we were like, oh, we've got to get this.
I actually have the card here. Why don't you take that, and why don't you tell us what had you actually purchased this?
It says for my beautiful wife,
Yeah.
and it's got two coffee cups in it. It's the cutest thing. So we run a coffee business, and that's basically why we decided we need this card. It's an investment.
Right.
It's not just another card that we're going to stack away. In fact, the ones we've bought, now we're like torn between, do we keep the paper, do we throw it out, and like what do we do? So now we figured out a solution to that part too. But this one is more like, I'm going to use it for social media or something related to our business.
Sure, yeah. It actually looks like it would be a very good, it's good marketing material too, because you say Together we're the perfect blend. How cute is that? That's awesome, right? This is definitely social media worthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when did you start doing this custom, this tradition, if you will, of, promising not to spend on Valentine's Day gifts?
Well, that's something that we came up with doing this year. Normally, we just buy a card and period. There's no flowers, there's no...
But we started the no flowers, no gifting thing about 2 years into our relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. We had that. So we're 5 years married. We're gonna be 5 years married in May, and but it was right before we got married, I guess.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Wow. Interesting. And we decided, let's not go through this whole hassle of having to surprise each other or buy something for one another. In a relationship, yes, one has to have an account for each one, but a lot of the stuff you do is in unison. I mean, to me, quite frankly, it was stressful to think about another holiday coming up.
A gift.
Yeah.
Think about what it is that she wants. What would make her happy? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks because then that's what is determining our love, for each other. It's like his gift has to be thoughtful enough.
That's what society is determining.
Right. And that's the pressure that is put on us. I think especially women, we are very big on the whole, oh my God, he's got to remember that it's Valentine's Day or our anniversary or my birthday, God forbid he forgets. Because I used to be that woman that cared for my gift because that was what told me how much he cared for me. And how thoughtful he was.
That's actually super interesting because I think that the majority of today's society would feel that way about it, and they would place the meaning of, well, if you don't get me a gift, it means you don't care. It means you don't love me, or any one of those things, right? It means something like that's a big deal, that I feel neglected, I feel forgotten or abandoned or something. Then we associate that and glue that together with the act of spending money on a gift, right? And the more the higher the dollar cost of the gift, the more you must love me.
Yeah.
Right? Somehow we associate that together. And how did you go from that kind of thinking over to, you know what? That's not how I choose to define love. How did you make that transition?
How did I fall out of this marketing scheme? No, that's a whole other conversation probably. But no, I mean, I found out after some failed relationships that communication is so important. And yeah, it's almost cliche to say, or perhaps it's like an old adage, like communication is key, but it really is. And I think some relationships may or may not fail to understand what does communicating really mean. Communication means you say what you feel inside, whether or not you think that other person is going to like it or not, kind of thing. And when you communicate your feelings, so I had that thing inside of me that said, do we really have to go through this stuff every year? And I said that to him, and I'm like, how about we not, celebrate this stuff? And then the ball's over to your...
My court.
Yeah, it's in your court, and that also says a lot about who you are with and what understanding, like, are you with the right person?
We're in the same team. We're not opposite teams. We're in the same, thinking the same, going in the same direction. Thinking about our future and how far and how much we want to take care for tomorrow for us.
Right.
We're young. We're taking care of our future.
Right.
There has to be a sense of agreement, because if both parties are not bought into this idea of, hey, let's not define our love for each other or the strength of our relationship by the dollar value of the gifts we buy each other. What advice would you give couples that where one side does feel this way and the other feels very like hurt or almost even betrayed, if I may go as that far of a feeling? What advice would you give to them? And have you seen any couples that where one side is like that? And
Absolutely.
Go the opposite
absolutely.
way.
Yeah, I mean, and in a disclaimer, if I may, we're not saying we respect people who believe in Valentine's Day, and if for some reason that really means something to you, if that's the one day that you feel that you must show your love, then by all means, we're not going out there going to every couple and saying you don't need to celebrate this holiday.
Do it this way.
However, when we do bring it up to our friends, and we have friends that one of them is like, oh no, like, how dare you? Like, really? You don't celebrate Valentine's? Or it's not even we don't celebrate, we just don't spend on it. Like, we probably have some amazing sex, if I may, that same night. But, that shouldn't be exclusive to that day, and that's our point, is that love is all year round. You should have that amazing, passionate night more than one day out of a year, and it doesn't have to be a monetary expense, for sure. I think our thing is just, if you see something that you want to buy for your significant other, then just buy it right then and there. Mm-hmm. Don't wait to that holiday, because for one, it becomes more expensive. Everything goes up. Flowers, I don't know if anyone has noticed, they go up like crazy during Valentine's Day. And I refuse for him to spend our money on flowers on that day for me, where he could just, I think it's almost even more meaningful when they just do it on a random day, but that's just me. I mean, just because I'm not a flower girl though, so that doesn't come to the...
But thank goodness, right? But I absolutely, because it's part of this whole supply and demand thing. The demand skyrockets during these holidays, Valentine's Day being one of them, Christmas time being another, and when the demand skyrockets, so do the prices. There's also like social demand as well, because there's a sense of, oh man, everyone else is doing it, I'm gonna look bad if I don't do it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's almost as if you're reacting, whereas I feel like what you guys are telling me is that you've found a way to become very proactive in practicing how you guys strengthen.
And then you have your girlfriends who ask you, what did he get you, or
or post it on social media.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
So
there's
like,
an element of like comparing.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the comparing?
I really don't care about what anyone else posts on social media that day. I'm like,
that's why you swipe.
oh, how cute. And it's not me being judgmental. Being, like I said before, awesome if you're into buying gifts and stuff. That's cool. But I'm kind of proud, if I may, of the fact that I don't need a gift, or want one for that matter, to feel loved. I mean, when he washes dishes, that freaking rocks my world.
Yeah.
And
that's free.
And that's free.
Yeah. And it's the little things, right?
Yeah.
It's
what comes to mind is the idea of love languages, right? And if gifts is your love language, there's a price tag associated with it, and that's totally fine. But one of the things that might be very important to learn when it comes to personal finance, and it's not just our life, but it's someone that we love, whether it's a significant other or a family member or even a friend, it's valuable to understand that there's other currencies than money, right? It's not just, the dollar is not the only social currency out there. An act of service, like doing doing the dishes for
Yeah.
your wife, or at the pharmacy where we saw where it's not just about reading the cards and then putting it back, but it's legitimate quality time spent together.
Yeah.
Right? There are other ways that you can engage in a give and take in a relationship without actually utilizing money. It just requires a little bit of extra effort and just paying attention to people like who have another point of view.
Yeah.
Right? If everybody around you is only thinking about oh, what did he get you? What did you get for Valentine's Day? And it becomes this contest of who spent more money. Maybe it's time to ask other people what they did, right? And so that's what this video is for. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Valentine's Day from YouTube. Subscribe if you like the video, and hit the notification to make sure you get more content just like this, and stay tuned for more from YouTube.